Right now, if a tooth starts to hurt, you make a phone call. Within a few days, someone numbs your mouth, fixes the problem, and sends you home. Annoying, expensive, over. Now delete that phone call. Delete the dentist. Delete the painkillers. It's 9,000 years ago. Your tooth has been throbbing for 3 weeks. The pain has started crawling down your jaw, into your neck. And you have exactly 2 options: do nothing and maybe die. Or let a man come at your face with a drill made of rock. This is the story of the most underrated nightmare in human history. And it starts with a mystery. For most of the time humans have existed, rotten teeth were rare. Archaeologists dig up hunter-gatherer skulls with clean, strong teeth, maybe 2 cavities in 100. So what changed? What broke the human mouth? The answer is the same thing that built the world you live in: farming. About 12,000 years ago, humans stopped chasing food and started growing it. Wheat, barley, porridge, bread, honey, sticky, sugary, starchy food every single day. And the bacteria living in human mouths could not believe their luck. They feasted on the leftovers, spat out acid, and the acid ate the teeth. In the Taferelt caves of Morocco, archaeologists found people who lived on sweet wild acorns 15,000 years ago. 94% of the adults had rotting teeth. 94%. Farming gave us cities, writing, civilization. And it declared war on the human molar. 10 out of 10 for progress. 0 out of 10 for teeth. And then Egypt made it worse. Egyptian bread was ground on stone, so every loaf came with a free ingredient: sand. Every bite, every day, for a lifetime, like chewing fine sandpaper. Mummies show us the result: teeth ground flat until the living nerve inside lay exposed to the air. Priests, builders, pharaohs, men who owned gold, armies, and pyramids. And who would have traded half of it for 1 tube of sensitive toothpaste? In fact, teeth got so bad that around 2600 BC, Egypt gave a man named Hezira an official title: greatest of those who deal with teeth, the first dentist in recorded history. But here's the question that matters. Before dentists, before Hezira, could a toothache actually kill you? Yes, quietly, slowly, and more often than you'd think. An infected tooth becomes an abscess. An abscess leaks bacteria into your blood. And in a world without antibiotics, that's checkmate. Centuries later, when London started keeping official death records, teeth appeared year after year as a listed cause of death. Not an inconvenience, a killer. Ancient people watched it happen to their neighbors. They knew the stakes. So when the pain came for them, how far would they go to stop it? Further than you want to imagine. In northern Italy, archaeologists found a man who died 14,000 years ago, with the world's oldest known dental work in his jaw. Someone had taken a tiny, sharpened flint and scraped the infected cavity clean. A rock. Inside a living tooth. No numbing, no music in the waiting room. You may now forgive your dentist for everything, but scraping was just the beginning. In a place called Mehrgarh, in modern-day Pakistan, 9,000 years ago, they were drilling. Archaeologists found 11 people with neat, precise holes bored into their back molars. The tool? A bow drill, the same device they used to start fires. A wooden bow, a spinning stick, a flint tip. Point it at wood, you get an ember. Point it at a screaming neighbor's tooth. You get the birth of dentistry. A skilled hand could cut through enamel in under a minute. 1 minute, awake. Held still by nothing but your own decision that the pain of the drill was better than the pain of doing nothing. And here's the part I can't stop thinking about. The drilled teeth show smooth wear on top of the drill holes, which means these people survived, healed, and went right back to chewing with that tooth. They didn't stop at drilling either. In Slovenia, a 6,500-year-old jaw turned up with a cracked tooth, packed with beeswax. Soft, moldable, seals out air and food, a filling. And in Tuscany, 13,000 years ago, someone plugged a hollowed tooth with bitumen, literally tar, mixed with plant fibers, and hair. Hair, in the filling. And the genuinely upsetting part, it probably worked. But this whole time, one question haunted every civilization. Why did teeth rot? They couldn't see bacteria, so they found another explanation. A worm. 5,000 years ago, Babylonians pressed the story into clay. A worm begged the gods for a home, and chose the human tooth to gnaw and suck and burrow forever. The tooth worm. And humanity believed it. For over 4,000 years. Doctors were still blaming the worm in the 1700s. The treatment? Smoke. Henbane seeds burned, the fumes guided into the aching mouth to kill the worm. Henbane is a powerful hallucinogen. So no, it never killed the worm. There was no worm. But after enough henbane smoke, you stopped caring about your tooth, or anything else. And when healers pulled a dying nerve out of a tooth, soft, pale, and wriggling looking, everyone nodded. There it is, the worm. The lie had evidence. So, what did ancient humans do when their teeth rotted? Everything they could think of. They scraped them with stone. They drilled them with fire starters. They sealed them with wax and tar and hair. They begged gods, breathed poison smoke, and hunted a worm that never existed. They were wrong about almost everything, except the one thing that mattered. Doing something beats doing nothing. So the next time you're in that waiting room, hating the smell, dreading the whine of the drill, remember mehrgarh. Someone sat down in the dirt 9,000 years ago, wide awake, and let a neighbor lean into their skull with a fire drill, on nothing but trust. Your fear of the dentist is 9,000 years old. The appointment is the newest thing about it. The drill got smaller. The fear never did.